Hello, today is the 13th of May. It is Wednesday. This is my COVID-19 little update on what's going on. It is 8:47 p.m. and the number of confirmed cases in America is now 1,387,000. Number of deaths are at 83,700. New York now has over 340,000 cases, and North Carolina has topped 16,000. Cases as of right now. The trending data, the numbers went up a little bit yesterday, according to what the graph said. Not significantly. They're still overall trending down, but not much, just a little bit. Some big things that are in the news today are that some of the states, because it hasn't hit the country hard everywhere. New York got hit the most by far. And I've been when I put my numbers out there, it's like showing what New York is compared to what I would say kind of like middle America is, even though North Carolina's on the East Coast, but it's kind of like we're kind of like a middle-sized state as far as population and stuff like that. We're kind of like in the middle of the pack as far as what's going on. Some of the states that have had fewer issues, they've started to reopen more, and they're not really seeing any jumps. But again, it's probably more related to, density in population, plus you factor in more tests are available, and that you have, a lot more safety precautions in place than were originally. I mean, when I go out, which is very infrequent, they've got a lot of safety issues. They've got plexiglass, between you and whoever you're dealing with. Everyone stays 6 feet away from each other. It's a thing. So it's a big deal. One other bit of news that came out officially for my daughter, so my youngest daughter, who's a junior in high school, they had talked about what they were going to do with grades for high school high school students, at least those that were like in high school. Excluding seniors, they had a different set of rules for the seniors. So my daughter's a junior this year, and so she was told today, hey, this is the thing, and I'll explain what it is in a second. And she had to decide by today. So she had the option. She had basically three options. Okay, number one, you can take whatever grade you were earning on March 13th, which is the last day they had class, and that will be your grade for the semester. Okay. Second option is that you could continue. She's been doing work. She's been doing online work for about a month now, and you could continue. You could use that work to bring your grade up if you wanted to bring your grade up and have that be counted as far as your GPA goes. So that's an option. Or the third option is as long as you were passing a class on March 13th, you could, or even now, I guess, you could choose the pass option, which means that you show that you've completed the class, though you haven't, and it won't hurt your GPA one way or the other. So, in three of her classes, she had an A on the 13th, and she had a B in one class, a really high B in one class. So she elected basically to, well, that's not quite true, because one of her classes is an AP class, so so for two of her classes, she decided, I'm just going to take the grade that, she'd been doing work for those courses, but she just felt like, they were just doing busy work now, and they weren't really learning anything new. So she's like, hey, I'll just take those grades that I had for those two classes, the 13th, which was an A, and she's like, that my grade would still be an A right now. It's just, and the teachers have basically said, we're not really learning a whole lot of new stuff. We're just kind of rehashing stuff. So that makes complete sense. For the class that she was earning a B in, she has been working on that and doing assignments and stuff like this, and she's put a lot of time and effort into quite a few of the assignments. So she elected to keep working on that class until it ends, which is a few more weeks. And more than likely she'll end up getting an A in that class. And then for her AP class that she's taking, I'm not quite sure how it works, because she's still going to be taking AP tests, so she's still going to be doing work. Although I don't know that the work in the class is going to count towards her class grade, but she's still learning stuff to help her with the AP test. So that's a thing. Anyway, there's that. One other last little thing that kind of it's just been interesting as I've kind of been looking at the national news, and I keep mentioning how New York, the state of New York, specifically really Manhattan area, got hit the hardest with the number of cases with COVID-19. And so the governor of New York, who is Andrew Cuomo, he's been, generally the media has been very supportive of his approach. He's been, the hard nails, New York, get her done kind of a approach. And he's almost been the voice of reason in a lot of ways. Just taking hard, fast stances. And it's been to the point now where, and again, this is not a political one side or the other, this is just an observation, they're almost looking to him more as the leader of what's going on as opposed to what's going on in the White House. And then again, you have different dynamics because you're dealing with, the governor's dealing with one particular section of the country that is really impacted, but they're learning a lot about this disease and how it spreads and prevention stuff through their kind of like trial by fire, as opposed to the White House looking at a grander, bigger picture of how it doesn't really apply in certain parts of the country and others. But anyway, they seem to give more credence to Cuomo than the president right now. Just an observation. Anyway, so that is it for the 13th of May.